The last time the Packers picked at 23?
The Green Bay Packers select Brian Bulaga.
What a feeling. And same as it's always been, this week is about dreams coming true.
The Green Bay Packers select Tucker Kraft,
Rashawn Gary,
Edgerrin Cooper, Quay Walker, Jaden Reed.
But this year's draft means more.
The NFL selects Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hey, you all know us for that one thing.
The Packers are world champions of football!
Now, we'll do you one better. The NFL's hottest offseason party runs through Titletown.
Touchdown in the city, got it going up for real.
We're ready. Are you?
All right, let's go!
This is our city. This is Green Bay.
The biggest spectacle of the NFL offseason is nearly here. And yes, the destination is indeed our own backyard. Green Bay, Wisconsin, home of the 2025 NFL Draft. Hello and welcome to the Total Packers Draft Preview, presented by Software One. Larry McCarren, along with my very esteemed colleagues from Packers.com, Mike Spofford and Wes Hotkowitz. And Mike, the NFL's smallest city is about to host its largest off-season event.
Yeah, this is a once-in-a-generation type of thing here, Larry. We're talking about essentially 3 game days worth of people being here over the course of the 3 days, except they're not going to be organized in the Stadium Bowl. They're going to be all out here in the Lambeau Field parking lot, taking in everything going on that stage behind us. It's going to be a massive humanity for 3 days, but it should be a heck of a lot of fun.
And Wes, while there is a lot of excitement and hoopla around hosting the draft, for the football folks, it's business as usual.
Yeah, absolutely, Larry. I mean, the Green Bay Packers still have 8 draft picks, and they're going to be using those to better this team for 2025. I think what I'm most curious to see is just how you go about managing this thing, because the last 3 years, some really productive picks for the Green Bay Packers. The question for Brian Gutekunst and his scouts, can you make it 4 in a row?
Of course, hosting the draft is a huge undertaking, and the man who undertook it is Mark Murphy. He was the zealot who made it happen. And we sat down with him now that his vision is becoming reality. Mark, when you look out and see the stage, the whole draft footprint coming together, what do you think?
It's a great question. It's a source of pride, I think, not just for me, I think for the entire organization. Once the league decided back in 2015 to take the draft on the road, we thought, what about Green Bay? We're a much smaller city than every other city that has hosted it, but I think it'll be pretty special. We want it to be, Wisconsin-based and definitely have a Green Bay flavor. You'll have a dive bar, there'll be supper clubs, all different things that help make our community so special.
You're a man of the people. What kind of feeling are you getting from the folks, the fans, the citizens?
Overwhelmingly, people are so excited. It's palpable. When we've said it, it'll be a 3-day commercial for Wisconsin and Green Bay. You can see behind us, it's quite an undertaking. It's become the biggest event the NFL runs short of the Super Bowl. You think it wasn't that long ago, Larry, that it was in New York, Radio City Music Hall every year, and they really saw an opportunity to grow it.
Lambeau Field, Ron Wolf once called it football's most storied cathedral. So that fact is not lost on the NFL then, huh?
No. We know it's iconic, and the league knows that too. having a stadium like Lambeau Field right in the middle of it. Obviously, that was crucial in our attempt to get the draft to come here. There's a lot of NFL fans across the world, really, that have never been to Lambeau Field, and with the draft being held here, this is going to be an opportunity for them to see what makes Lambeau Field and Green Bay so special. Between the history and tradition of the Packers and Lambeau Field, I think we have a lot to offer, and I know the league's excited about it.
When you look at it football-wise,
The Green Bay Packers select
what are your hopes, dreams, and aspirations for this draft?
Well, I'm gonna cop out on this a little. We always want the best player. We're in a great position. I'm very confident in Brian, what he's done. I think after this process, we'll be a better team. Brian and his staff and all our coaches, they put so much time and effort into it. It's really exciting to see all that work come together, and been really pleased with all the great work that Brian's done during his tenure here.
Mark, at some point, I hope you get to sit back and take it all in and really enjoy it. You deserve it. You're the zealot that made this happen. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Larry. I can't really sit back and relax until the draft is over. As a community-based team, being able to have the draft here, knowing what it'll mean to Green Bay and the state, it's very rewarding for all of us. Number one priority is winning championships, and close second is making sure that we support the local community.
Thanks to Mark for that conversation. The NFL Draft moved away from NYC's Radio City Music Hall starting in 2015. Chicago was the host city for 2 years before the event began its annual move to a new city. Droves of fans flocked to Philly in 2017, Jerry's World in Arlington in 2018, and the streets of Nashville in 2019. After a one-year hiatus during the pandemic, the draft saw big turnouts in Cleveland, Las Vegas, and Kansas City. Last year's event took place across Lake Michigan in downtown Detroit. That brings us to present day, where the draft is set to take place in Green Bay, right in the shadows of historic Lambeau Field. Coming up on Total Packers, even more information for those planning on attending the draft. We sent Wes around the office to get the very latest. Before we take a break, here's draft day memories from Packers tight end Tucker Kraft.
With the 78th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft,
the Green Bay Packers select Tucker Kraft, tight end, South Dakota State.
I'd say my biggest hope was that I didn't just throw the party for no selection. My draft party was in our airport hangar. There was like 300 people there. Small town, words get around.
The potential of SDSU's own getting selected in the NFL Draft has the city of Brookings buzzing with excitement.
Whenever I saw like the 50s and 60s go by, I kind of got this feeling in my stomach like, oh no. All those negative thoughts kind of fill your head. Green Bay was not on my radar. I scratched them completely off the list the moment they drafted Luke. Our TV must have been lagging behind the whole 2 picks. I get a phone call, it says Green Bay Packers. I'm like, no way. Yes, sir. The whole town roared.
I would love to be number 85.
Deafening screams from all around me. Hugs, people tackling me. The raw feeling and emotion. It was a special moment.
Good evening and welcome to the NFL Draft.
To the end zone, it's intercepted.
The draft is the lifeblood of this organization. It always kind of has been. That's why it's so important to us.
Down the middle, caught and strike, touchdown.
guys in that locker room are counting us to bring in the right kind of guys.
Can't avoid the sack. Down he goes. That throw's intercepted. Touchdown.
They're going to play a huge impact on how our season goes this year.
The Green Bay Packers are on the clock.
The Packers will enter this draft with 8 selections. Now, if that holds, it would be the fewest picks Green Bay has had since 2019. But of course, Brian Gutekunst always loves to wheel and deal, so that number is certainly subject to change. TV, radio, newspapers, the web. They're all chock full of information about attending the draft, but you ain't seen nothing yet. We unleash senior writer and investigative journalist Wes Hotkwitz to ferret out the latest information. Wes.
It's no secret. The NFL Draft is coming right here to Green Bay. I know I'll be here. We want you to be here too. Let's take a walk around the office and find the info you need to know before you go. Hey Katie, what's something that fans have to know before coming to the NFL Draft?
Easy. First things first, you have to download and register on the NFL One Pass app. It'll have everything that you need to know about the entire event. You can win prizes, and it's required to attend the NFL Draft experience. Important to remember, attending the NFL Draft is completely free.
All right, Candy, draft's coming up. What do you got for those interested in heading this way?
Wes, we know we're going to have people from all over the state of Wisconsin and beyond coming to Lambeau Field, so they really need to be aware of our parking situation. The good news is it'll be very similar to parking on game day. So we have local residents, local businesses. They'll have some really great options within walking distance of the stadium. So make sure you plan ahead. You want to get here early, secure a spot.
Quick, what's something that everyone needs to know before heading here for the NFL Draft?
Let's talk about the draft campus. The draft campus is Lambeau Field, Titletown in the Resch area. Fans can enter west of Titletown or south of Lambeau Field on the corner of Ridge and Valley View. And the whole campus will be walking friendly, so wear some comfortable shoes for the weekend.
Draft's coming up. What do you got?
Well, it's going to be a cashless campus. No outside food and beverage is permitted, but you can bring an empty water bottle in, and clear bag policy is going to be in effect, just like a Packers game day.
Okay, Anna, when does the fun begin?
You know, I can't believe it, but we're nearly here. On April 24th, we're opening up those gates, and everyone can enjoy the NFL Draft experience at noon on Thursday and Friday, and 9 a.m. on Saturday. But I have even better news. It's free, and for family with kids of all ages.
Thanks to everyone around Lambeau Field for their help. Of course, if you can't make it to Green Bay, you can still catch the draft on NFL Network, ESPN, and ABC starting at 7 Central on Thursday night for round 1 action.
Back to the reason for all of this, the actual draft itself. And Wes, let's talk about offensive prospects. The Packers are picking 23rd in the first round. Is there any prospect you find particularly intriguing or interesting?
Yeah, for me, Larry, it has to be Matthew Golden out of Texas. Now, 5'11", he's not the biggest receiver in this draft class, but he might be the fastest. And we talked this offseason about the potential need for speed there for Green Bay with Christian Watson's injury. I think Golden, when you look at his production, the 22 touchdowns in college, this is the type of guy that can take a top off the defense. Certainly one of the most intriguing players in this entire draft, regardless of position.
Bob, do you have an offensive prospect that you are really primed up about?
Yeah,
you
for
get
sure.
The play on words?
Yeah, I get it.
Primer.
Larry, prospect primer.
Okay,
yeah.
Good
Well,
advertisement.
I know it's been 23 years since the Packers drafted a wide receiver in the first round, but I'm with Wes here at receiver, and I'm going with Tet McMillan from Arizona. This guy's 6'4", 219 pounds, and he may not have Christian Watson speed, but 4.48 isn't exactly slow. 80-plus catches, at least 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns each of the last 2 years. First guy in a power conference to do that in over a decade, and he wasn't just catching bubble screens and hitches. We're talking 16.1 yards per catch over 200 collegiate receptions. Tet McMillan, the odds are he may not be there at 23, but I really like that guy.
All right, coming up, what will he do for an encore? We're talking Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, and we'll be talking to him on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Total Packers Draft Preview, where we await the official kickoff to the festivities on Thursday. Dreams are set to come true for the newest crop of NFL draft selections, much like it did for Lucas Van Ness 2 years ago.
With the 13th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select
Lucas Van Ness, defensive end, Iowa.
I did my draft party in Fontana, Wisconsin, a little lake town about 2.5 hours from here in Green Bay. I had all my family and friends in town, and we had an amazing night. It was just a surreal night, a lot of emotion, a lot of anticipation. I had my phone flipped over, but I felt like I wanted to keep checking it and seeing if I had any notifications or calls. Goody was the first one that called. I remember seeing the Wisconsin area code. I think I blacked out. So much emotion, a surreal moment, something I'll never forget.
Packer fans are real excited about year 2 with Jeff Hafley in charge of the Packer defense, and why wouldn't they be? He laid a great foundation in year 1.
As a guy that grew up loving football, it's the Green Bay Packers. I mean, this is like the mecca of the football world to me.
Jeff, before we talk about the future, let's talk about the past.
New defensive coordinator in Green Bay will be Jeff Hafley.
You guys finished 5th in yards allowed, 6th in points allowed, 4th in takeaways. Year 1 of the program was a resounding success. Is that the way you feel about it?
Yeah, in some aspects for sure. I thought our guys played really hard. They were physical, the effort was great, the buy-in was great, and even more important, I think we got better as the season went along.
They'll be better defensively under Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley.
I think both as coaches and players, we figured out who we were. Disappointing, at the end of the season, ending with a loss in Philadelphia. So certainly we have work to do and we need to get better. But I think we have a really, really good foundation, which I'm very excited about.
He's an impressive dude now. Everyone loves how aggressive he is, how aggressive his scheme is.
I would imagine you're pretty excited about the second seasons for guys like Edgerrin Cooper, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard.
Yeah, I mean, those guys were rookies last year and they played a lot of football. I mean, there were times we were starting 3 rookies. But you mentioned Coop, you throw on some of his tape and...
He's hit a sack! Edgerrin Cooper!
We need to make sure, though, that they are pushed physically and mentally, and they don't think, year 1 I had some success, this is gonna be easy, because it's not, it's gonna get harder. It's gotta be that beginner's mindset that I haven't done anything yet.
Hafley, good effort with this young defense, and they're taking the ball away.
Brian Gutekunst was asked, where are you going to go for pass rush? And he said, we're going to go to the guys we got. Is that the way you feel about it?
At the end of the day, when you really turn on the tape and you look at our sacks and you look at our pressure, we had success.
There we go. There you go. There's the pressure they've been waiting for.
It's just like anything else. We want more and we need more. I need to make sure we get those guys better, and then it's on them as well. We're a team in this thing.
I got the sense from day 1 the defensive guys bought in. Did you get that sense?
Maybe I didn't get it day 1. I mean, I wish you'd have told me that day 1. I was coming off of being a college head coach. I hadn't been in the NFL in quite a bit. We brought together a new staff, and you don't know how that's going to go early on. The players didn't know how it was going to go early on. They didn't know who I was, and the attitude was outstanding. I mean, from the meeting room, from the first day in OTAs to training camp, and I think that's to Matt's credit, the culture that he has here and the people that we've brought in here. There's great guys in the locker room. They want to be coached, they want to be coached hard, they want to win, and that's really, to me, where it all starts. It's attitude and it's effort. Those are things you can control every day. Me, you, everybody in here, right? So come in with a great attitude, be consistent, and give great effort. And if you do that, you're probably going to be pretty good at whatever you do.
it's great to see Jeff Hafley's defense deliver big time here today.
Do you have, at least mentally, any sort of a wish list for the upcoming draft?
I got some wish lists, just like I'm sure you do, but I'll keep those to myself right now so we don't give out any thoughts.
You always look at the man first, the coach second, and as good of a coach as he is, I think he's even a better person.
Spaff, who among the defensive prospects in this year's draft class has caught your eye, and who might catch the Packers' eye at number 23?
Yeah, I've been intrigued by Oregon defensive tackle Derek Harmon for quite a while now. 6'4.5", 313 pounds. Ran a 4.95 40 at that size, which means there's definitely some twitch and some athleticism there. Pro Football Focus had him for 55 pressures last season, which was a dozen more than any other interior defensive lineman in the FBS. I really like possibly finding the next Kenny Clark in this draft for the Packers.
West, you have a defensive prospect who sends a chill down your spine.
For me,
or
Larry,
your leg, whatever the case may be.
wherever it may be, it's Mykel Williams. And you were talking about Georgia Bulldogs. The Green Bay Packers know a thing or two about drafting them, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. 6'5", 260 pounds, and he's 20 years old. Will not turn 21 until June. The Packers like prospects young. I think he checks a major box there. The production, you're going to have to see exactly what's coming here. He's a developmental guy, but he has all the traits you're looking for in a premier pass rusher.
All right, guys, the moment of truth. Who are the Packers going to select in the first round? Wes, you're up.
Mike said it. Been 23 years. Matthew Golden, 4.3 speed. Can't be wrong. That's my pick.
And Spaff, who's your guy?
I'm going defensive tackle, so either Harmon, who I just talked about, or Walter Nolan from Ole Miss.
One or the other.
Harmon.
I'll go with Walter Nolan. May not be the biggest defensive tackle in the group, but he may be the most disruptive. And let's not forget about my man in Florida, Desmond Watson. At Florida's Pro Day, he was 6'6", 464. Now, Desmond admits he's going to have to lose some weight for the pro game, but since the season ended, he's gained 15 pounds. I want to party with that guy. Gentlemen, thank you, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.